Howdy, Dr. Sheena Howard here, founder of Power Your Research, an academic branding company where I help academics and educators increase their visibility, authority, and income without the expense of a publicist. And this is one of my favorite topics to talk about, which is getting more speaking engagements and being able to charge more. So, not just getting more speaking engagements, but being able to increase what you are charging. The number one thing that really bothers me with my very smart people with master's degrees and particularly PhDs is that you're doing speaking engagements for free, for $500, for $1,000, and you are not being fairly compensated. Now, I've done many episodes about this very thing. And so I can go on and on and on, but I want to talk about the four things I have written down here so that I don't go into a tangent, because I've talked about the mindset issues and all of those things before. But I just want to give you four things to do to get more high paid speaking engagements that most of you will be able to do right now. A couple of these may be a little high level. There's some steps you have to do before implementing them, but those things will give you a peek behind the curtain for a long-term strategy. The first thing is you need to be posting on social media consistently through the lens of your brand. Now, this video is not about how to do that, because I have books out there about that. I have the Power Your Research program. I've done a lot of these episodes about that. But if you're not posting social media consistently, you are not going to be able to get the visibility and leverage that you need for more people to find you. The number one way that I get speaking engagements is my social media content. Everybody's on their phone. So you need to go where the people are. And I get a lot of academics who tell me they don't want to be on social media. If you don't want to be on social media, then you don't want more high paid speaking engagements. Period. You don't get to have what you want if you're not willing to do the work to do it. This is 2024. This is not 1994. Okay? And so I have to say it to you like that, because you're leaving money on opportunities. Not just the world is on social media, including you. And so you need to start posting social media content with a purpose. That's number one. Number two is you need social proof. So a lot of my PhDs, you've been doing speaking engagements for years, and you know what you don't do? You don't get testimonials. You don't get surveys from your audience. So I use a tool that I talk about I think I talk about it in the academic branding book, but I certainly teach my clients to use this tool to get a QR code, survey your audience so that they can let you know that you did a good job. So then you have social proof and you can share the graphics and images online so that you can book more speaking engagements. The other reason why you want to send this survey out when you do speaking engagements is because one of the questions that the survey asks is, would you like me to speak again? Are you in a position to book me for more speaking engagements? So that way you get tons of leads. So if you do a speaking engagement in front of 50 people, and let's say 45 people fill out this survey, you have 45 email addresses of people that can book you at their organization, at their institution. They can tell a friend. The other thing is, a lot of people with PhDs do speaking engagements, but they don't get feedback. So you don't really know if you did a good job. The reason why you always want to do a survey when you speak is so that you know for yourself that you did a good job. This is going to empower you mentally to go do it again, because you're like, wow, 99% of my audience loved my talk. Without the feedback, you can't move forward. So that's number one. That's number two. By the way, the tool that I use is called Talkadot. And so you can look that up and start using it. Like, this is a free video and I'm giving you free advice. Number three, I actually sat in a meeting. So I knew this to be true, but I had never heard someone in a position of power say it. And so some organizations will pay academics $1,000 to talk, but they'll pay someone else that has a rep up to $10,000 for the same talk. If you didn't catch what I just said, rewind this and listen to that again. This is what's happening, y'all. This is what's happening. And you need to know that, because one, You need to be asking for more money, period. And two, if you can, get somebody to be the other person behind the email address to negotiate more money for you. This could be a friend that you'll say, hey, I'll give you 10% of whatever I make to negotiate more money for this. That's a little bit advanced, and there's ways to do that I can walk you through. The point that I'm trying to make is don't accept the first offer and stop being scared to send an email back saying my rate is $3,500. Period. Stop letting fear have you leave money on the table and devalue your self-worth, because every time you show up to do a speaking engagement and you don't charge what you're worth, it doesn't feel good. And you think you don't like doing speaking engagements, you think you have burnout, but you really don't have any of those things. You're really just mad because you didn't charge what you knew you were worth. And you know that somebody else talking about the same thing is charging 10 times what you're charging. The last thing that will really help you in getting more speaking engagements and being able to charge more is similar to the point that I just gave you. Speakers bureaus are helpful. But here's what I want you to understand. A speaker's bureau, depending on the one you're at, is not necessarily going to bring you more opportunities. The first two things that I shared are going to bring you more opportunities, but a speaker's bureau is going to come with someone representing you to negotiate more money, to field all the emails you're getting. Because if you do the first two steps, the social media and the social proof and the feedback, you'll have more people asking you for speaking engagements. And so it will lead to the need for somebody to handle all of the emails that you're getting. Do the steps in the right order. I see PhDs come to me, the first thing they're like, hey, how do I get into a speaker's bureau? Well, you can't do that until you did these first things. Until you build the visibility, until you build the brand, until you're someone that a speaker's bureau would want to bring on. And most people don't even need a speaker's bureau yet. They just need to do the things that I just talked about first. Because you might find that you don't even need a speaker's bureau. You just need to pay a talent manager 10% of all the speaking engagements that you get if you do the things that I listed first. So just because your fellow PhDs are also undercharging doesn't mean there's not an entire world out here of academics that are making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 more for the same talk. My name is Dr. Sheena Howard. I'm the founder of Power Your Research, an academic branding company. I help academics and educators increase their visibility, authority, and income without the expense of a publicist. I hope this helps somebody out there. And